article, right? And it made me think, are 35% of Americans just stupid? I mean, seriously. Because according to this article, 35% of it all, 41% of whites and 21% of blacks still think, or they think that African Americans are treated fairly or great in the United States. And I'm like, where do you live? Like, what country are you from that you still have 41% of white people? Are this like I don't know, 41% still racist? I don't know. 21% of blacks are like Clayton Bixby or something. Like, what the hell is going on out here? I just don't understand it, especially today when this Black Lives Matter movement is taking form, at a peak of sorts. I don't understand how there's still so many people that still believe that African Americans are treated fairly in this country. It's just ridiculous to me.
I mean, I don't really like the word stupid. I mean, was I stupid before when I didn't know about progressive policies back in 2012 when I thought Obama was crushing it? It's just ignorance is bliss. And until you actually do the research and find out to take yourself out of that, stupid is not the right word. But, I prefer the word ignorant or misinformed. And working Americans, they don't really have the time to follow politics like we do. It takes us pretty much a full-time job if you want to stay up to date on all the races and all the states and what's the latest of the news cycle. You look at that article, 35% of people think Black people are treated equally, but at the same time, 35%, 40%, that's around Trump's base numbers of what are the support that he has, and is about the numbers of people that watch Fox News and other right-wing outlets that are constantly misinforming people. They're the ones that are saying, well, more white people get killed by Black people get more killed by police than Black people do. And when in fact, there's 5 times more white people than Black people in the country. So more white people get killed. But the thing is, how many of them are armed? And you have to really get into the nitty gritty of it. So they're the ones that are saying, what about blue lives? What about this? So I wouldn't blame the people. I really blame, our corporate sponsored media that are the ones that are actively misinforming on these issues to the point where you would get poll results.
I agree with you to an extent. There's a lot of nuance that could go into different topics, but this is not one of them, man. This is something that is just like, when you see cops putting their knees on somebody's neck for several minutes till they die.
Yeah, that's not politics. That's real.
The way they write that off is they say that that's not common. Everyone, I think, even Republicans agree that situation was bad.
Some, because there's still some people that still think like, but what did he do before? What did he do to deserve it?
Republicans that are defending the George Floyd murder. So I think that what we're seeing is that they write that off. They go, well, that's an outlier. There's always going to be something, but in the other ones, they always ask that question. Well, what did he do? Why did he disrespect the cop? You get a lot more of that, where you get a case like George Floyd, where 95% of people.
Well, how many years worth of examples do you need? There's got to be a point. We talk about this country always about everybody complaining about stuff. What about personal responsibility? How about some personal responsibility here? You know what I'm saying? Why we keep blaming the media? I mean, there's a lot of things. If we come into something that's very nuanced about, how you're going to fund Medicare for all, somebody might get the big picture about how it could be beneficial, but they don't understand funding mechanisms. But when it comes to something about Black people getting killed by cops and the cops get away with it, and it happens all the time, how many examples do you need? I mean, I'm tired of giving people passes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just tired of it.
One thing I will say is that, 35%, right? I truly do believe that 35% of this country is that uninformed about the state of our nation right now, about what's going on with the protests all year this year. I mean, the vast majority of our country knows very little about current events. And the ones who are informed, quote unquote, are likely just getting misinformed by the biased, corporate funded sources that they watch. So I agree with Gabe to a sense that, there's a lot of misinformation out there. But I also agree with Carlito that, it's up to us. It's up to us, the people, to become informed. And too many of us are just, skirting that responsibility and just acting like things are all peachy when we know damn well that they aren't.